Hi, everybody. Well, it is Wednesday, and surely we're going to start getting down to the nitty gritty in terms of being able to tell you with some confidence what's going to happen with this potential winter storm this coming Friday into Saturday. This morning, by the way, not a bad forecast. The National Weather Service predicted the snow chance to be the Portland metro area and up to the north, not the Mid Valley, and that was true. Salem, all rain, upper 30s. Clark County had widespread snow of a dusting to 1 to 2 inches of snow and even 3 inches on the ground in northern Clark County. Had a little bit of snow up US 30, St. Helens up and toward Scappoose. Had 3 to maybe 4 inches of snow in the West Hills and maybe some of the other elevations around town. And now most of those problems have gone away. So the next time we're really focusing on snow below 1,500 feet and out of the Cascades was with that system coming on Friday and Saturday. And let's just begin with headlines, and then I'm going to back you up to what I'm looking at. I will tell you that the weather models are getting closer to being in agreement. And with that said, here we go. Still uncertainties in terms of amount of precipitation, uncertainties of when the precipitation ends, and uncertainty as to, and this seems crazy to me, but uncertainty as to whether or not we're going to get a period of freezing rain and or sleet mixed in after a snowy start. Weather models really like this to be all snow. We'll see. All right, here's what we know. Agreement seems to be you wake up Friday morning. If you get up early, it's raining outside. The weather models start to pick up an east wind at about 10 o'clock into the North Valley, the Portland metro area, Friday morning. And once that wind direction starts to pick up from the east, that will set the stage for what could be a rapid drop in temperatures and rain changing to snow. Now, it's tough to tell if we start off around 40, just how long is it going to take for the temperature to drop during the day and get down to 32, where we would start to see sticking snow at the lowest elevations. That can happen surprisingly rapidly, especially if the precipitation coming in is fairly heavy. The lighter the precip, the longer that will take, the heavier the moisture. Friday morning, the quicker the temperatures will drop. But again, early rain, east winds develop at 10. Shortly after, we start to see the rain transition to snow. At some point going into the afternoon hours, temperatures drop down to 32, and we start seeing sticking snow. It's, it's very possible that we have enough sticking snow by the afternoon commute on Friday to really make a mess. So, depending on additional updates, important for people to think about that and maybe avoid being on the roadways mid to late afternoon Friday, because it could turn into an absolutely, packed house out there with snow on the roadways. Sticking snow continuing Friday evening into the night. Now, there seems to be enough moisture that we would get 4 to 8 inches of snow sticking, lowest elevations everywhere, widespread stuff across the North Valley. There's some question as to whether or not Salem stays much warmer and doesn't get the snow, but certainly the North Valley, Portland up into Southwest Washington, I think that will take place. And then it still makes sense to me, although again, the model output says not really, but it still makes sense to me that we see some sort of an icy transition, or at least a checkerboard of mixed conditions of snow to sleet to freezing rain areas develop later Friday overnight going into Saturday morning. And then precipitation for the most part continuing Saturday, although I'm going to show you in a moment. Some models start to break out of the precip. But I think right now odds favor it continuing to be some sort of a wintry mix, accumulating ice or accumulating snow of freezing temperatures Saturday. And then all of that will start to taper off during the evening hours. All right. What about temperatures? Again, this is when the east wind picks up Friday, it's going to be pulling off of that Arctic air mass. And now it looks like the Arctic air does drop down through our area Friday morning. So that's going to set the stage for big time cold. Even with cloud cover, we could be looking at dropping down to the low 20s on Sunday, potentially. Saturday morning. Even with cloud cover and precip, we could drop down into the low 20s Saturday morning. Saturday night, the clouds start to clear out, the precipitation ends. Models continue to be in agreement that we go dry Saturday night, not sooner, and then we're dry Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Low temp Sunday morning with partial clearing. 14 to 20 degrees. That seems to be the range in the Willamette Valley. Gusty east winds, highs near 30. Monday, Low temps, calming winds during the day. Valley range anywhere from as low as 10 to 19 degrees Fahrenheit. Calming winds during the day. Highs warm up, I think above freezing into the mid 30s. Tuesday, low temps, 15 to 22, still really cold, obviously. But then we really start to see some significant warming. And I like our chances of hitting 40 degrees on Tuesday. A lot of the guidance, you may be seeing numbers on your phone, even colder than what I'm seeing here. I'm just trying to figure out when I look at the overall weather pattern, what makes sense. And what the model output initially is sometimes is wrong. Okay. So with that said, this is likely the number that your phone is pulling off of. So it'd be interesting to pull out your phone right now and kind of check it with these numbers. So the National Blended Extended Model for Portland shows the following. Just watch my cursor. Friday morning, 36. Well, this is actually showing you the low temperature 36 and the high 41. Now, let me tell you, Friday, it could be 41 in the morning, and then we drop down to 36 in the afternoon, then we continue to drop. What's more pertinent here is the weather model showing Portland could be 17 Saturday morning and a high of only 23 on Sunday. Now, whatever the morning low is Sunday with that east wind gusting and just continue to evict and blow, kind of suck, if you will, cold air through the gorge into the valley, whatever the low temperature is Saturday, it makes sense to me that no matter what the weather conditions, that we only warm up 5 degrees. And this shows we warm up 6. So it's right there, 17 to 23. Let's say we get down to 15, it will only be 20. If we get down to 18, it would be 23. But I think that's about a 5-degree temperature range. Sunday, dry sunshine. That'd be nice. Winds calm a little bit during the day Sunday. 18 in the morning, 31. This is what the model is saying for Portland. And then Monday, 20 to 31. Tuesday, 20 to 35. Again, I like Tuesday warming up to 40. All right, here's Bend. You folks watching over in Bend, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Such a beautiful area over there. Weather model says for Bend, with snow likely on Friday, 28, warming up to 38. Or actually, you know what? Let me rephrase. This could be turned around as well. 38 in the morning for the actual high. Highs will be in the morning Friday. Then the lows 28 or colder. Look at what the model does to Bend on Saturday with still potential snow showers in the area. Low of 7, a high of 19. Sunday, all dry in Central Oregon as well. 5 in the morning, maybe 0 in spots, especially as you run up into Sisters. 24, the high. Monday, a low of 6, a high of 25. You're dry, you're getting sun. Tuesday, 12 to 35. Wow, really, really cold stuff, right? Absolutely cold stuff. Here's the setup. This is Friday's air mass. So the Arctic air up here, obviously in purple, lowers down over us. Now, one of the reasons it's been hard to pinpoint this forecast is this big batch of Arctic air. The models at times have extended it all the way off the Pacific coast. At times, they held the Arctic air more back into Idaho and Montana. It is common, for whatever reason, when you get such a large air mass, no matter what the properties of it, that the weather modeling has a tough time really defining where the boundaries of the movement are, okay? But we're getting close, and right now they're showing the boundaries of this Arctic air mass drop over us Friday morning. East winds develop and start pulling toward this low that's coming in off the Pacific. This is obviously very mild, very warm weather compared to the Arctic air. So as this low gets closer and closer, the east winds will pick up and get stronger and stronger. If this low turns out to be strong enough to throw moisture inland at some point Friday night, Saturday, that's where the chance of freezing rain or sleet comes in. You've got warmer air aloft producing raindrops, hits the cold air down low, the raindrops freeze into sleet, little ice pellets. If it stays rain all the way down to the ground, it touches this freezing rain. I would assume that this is either going to be all snow or we get some icing. But I think the depth of this cold air is going to be enough that any raindrops would freeze in the air and come down as sleet pellets, ice pellets, if you will. But that's the setup. East winds blowing towards this warmer air, trying to nudge out in the Pacific. So this is Friday's air mass. Let's show you what it looks like on Saturday. Not much change. This cold air pocket in the East Gorge and the Columbia Basin, a little bit farther south and kind of digs in a little bit. Notice, remember around the low is that yellow-orange color? Now it's green. What's that saying? That's saying that this warm air is trying to come in and the cold air just hitting it and say, not so fast. The cold air is literally eating it up. Warm air never wins when it tries to come in over Arctic air. Arctic air wins that battle every single time. It's a matter of density and properties of the air mass. So, but this is still trying to throw moisture in, hence that chance Friday overnight and Saturday of maybe getting some icing. East winds really blowing. Eventually, this low just completely dissolves. And when that does, this is the only moisture feed we have. So when this is gone, which we think happens Saturday night into Sunday morning, then we're dry. This air, remember, is coming straight down from Canada, and there's actually ridging out here. There's ridging. If you follow my cursor, there's ridging out here in the Pacific. So there's no moisture feed except for this low that's trying to come in. All right. I hope this is making sense so far. Let's look at snow. All right. Here's a model. I think this is from the National Prediction Center. National Prediction Center's modeling shows through 4 o'clock, or as of 4 o'clock Friday, Portland has 3 inches of snow on the ground. 3.5, 4 inches up in Kelso, Longview. Hefty snow amounts again, falling over a 24-hour period up in the Cascades. Crazy. By the way, all snow in the Gorge. This is all snow in the Gorge and a potential winter storm warning for the Columbia River Gorge on Friday with snow and east winds. That snow and the cold in the Gorge are going to continue into Saturday. I suppose there could be some icing, but the farther you go into the Gorge, it will absolutely be all snow. Now notice, here's Marion County where my cursor is. Here's Salem. Remember? There's a chance there's that warm tongue of air that never really gets cold when the precip is going actively, or at least doesn't pick up snow. Now, I want to make a point that there's potentially quite a bit of available moisture coming in Friday. The animation that I'm not showing you shows that we have 3 inches developing fairly quickly before 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon, but it stops the snow, which means could there be some ice? Okay. All right. All right. I want to get out of this. I want to get into showing you some animations now. Okay. Let's start with just looking at the animation. By the way, the European model and the American GFS model pretty much showing the exact same thing. Finally, right? All right. Here's Thursday. Yeah, let me Thursday afternoon. Here's clearly the Arctic air. This is the upper flow pattern. Here's the Arctic air. Boy, it's cold. Here's that ridging I was telling you about. See the ridging, follow the contouring. So here's the ridge line right up through here. This is like a fence or a moisture block that's holding any moisture off from advecting in. So again, this system's doesn't really have much moisture available. It's going to depend on that low that's undercutting that's kind of coming in that doesn't really show up very well here. But this is Thursday. Let me go ahead and just move this. Here we go into Friday. Oh, let's back up. So again, there's Thursday. See the blue colors Thursday just into Washington. And now Friday, again, this isn't showing you the temperatures. It's showing you the upper level pressure fields. And see how the main core of the Arctic air is kind of holding off over Idaho, Montana? Yeah, that's true. And then here it is Saturday doing the same thing. And then eventually in the next week, this is Sunday, Monday, it really moves out. And then we get into the moderation and some warming kind of taking place. Okay. So all this really shows you is we get a glancing blow from the meat or the heart of the air mass, and then it moves off. All right. This is really interesting. Remember I talked about that low being the one moisture source? So this is the European. It's what we call precipitable water. It's basically the amount of possible water in the bucket. This is Friday morning. So the green back here is where there could be an inch of total precipitation available to precipitate, if you will. This has numbers all over the place, but pretty much I just want to show you this green area. This is the point of this animation, okay? So keep your eye on the green. This is Friday morning. The deep moisture fields offshore. This is that low that's trying to come in. Let me play it into Friday afternoon. Okay, now we got moisture almost ramming against the coast, a little bit of it ramming against the coast where you see the purple colors. Again, this is that warmer air trying to come in. That would be a source for icing if it makes it. Okay, here's Saturday morning. But look what happens. Look what happens. It's starting to drop to the south. East winds are eating this moisture up alive, evaporating it. Let me play it into Saturday later in the day and see how it just kind of drops south of our area. And this dark gray shade area is kind of the dry zone. There are multiple weather models that give you reason to think. Here's Saturday. This would be mainly dry weather or very limited precipitation that actually start to dry us out during the day Saturday with this moisture really dropping down away from us. That's all dry Sunday. And then we think that's true with the gray, all dry Sunday. So again, this is what I'm talking about. Can we get snow Friday and then you're ready for a big night and maybe it's going to get icy, or this is Saturday evening, does dry weather come in and just like that, what looked to be maybe a big event of some sort kind of dries, and really all we get is whatever snow we pick up Friday daytime. That's showing you that that is a possibility. All right, temperatures. This shows you departures from normal. Okay, this is crazy. All right, clearly the purple is the Arctic air mass, and clearly it's well down. Here's Portland. Arctic air mass is down here in the Central Oregon. All right, Saturday morning, 24 degrees below normal. What's normal? Normal is 36. Minus 24 is what? 26, 16. That's 12. That's the model saying it could be 12 degrees Saturday morning. Oh my goodness, that's cold. All right. Even worse departures up into Washington. Good grief. Some 40 degrees below normal up in northern Washington, 30 degrees below normal down here in parts of, looks like Deschutes County. Look at this. Daytime highs. Let's see what they're doing. 20-some degrees below normal. Normal is 47. So that's low 20s. And then those types of departures continue Sunday. Now, Monday afternoon, we're getting a little warmer. Monday afternoon, we're 15 degrees below normal. That's freezing, 37. Let's see. Tuesday, I think we have a chance to hit 40. What's the model think? Let's see. 9 degrees below normal. That'd be upper 30s, maybe 40. All right. So, okay, that's interesting. Just kind of, I think it's a little fun to look at these things. It's not going to be fun to feel it. All right, this is showing you winds. And what's interesting about this, and why I wanted to show you this, remember the winds, this is Friday afternoon, are from the east. So see the blue here? The blue is winds gusting at least to 20 miles per hour. And once you see the green numbers, they're gusting into the 30 plus mile per hour range. But this is a little wind bullseye. That's showing you the east winds rushing through the gorge. See the state line? There's the gorge. There's the east wind. Let's just follow this into Saturday morning. Look at that. Look at that wind. Okay, 40 mile per hour, 44 mile per hour wind gust Saturday morning. And you see that the contour, just the blast. You folks in Gresham, good grief. Is it going to be cold? Wind chills off the top of my head are certainly going to be in the single digits, if not colder. And now here's Sunday. There's some hope. Sunday, see, it's quite a bit calmer. There's still 25 mile per hour east winds, wind chill factor, but clearly Saturday is the windiest of the days. Sunday starts to calm. I think Monday, this still shows the winds hanging on. Sometimes you think they're going to calm and they don't. There's a reason to think the winds could calm in East County Monday, but this shows they still hold on. And then eventually on Tuesday, Wednesday would be getting out of here. Okay. Hey, a reminder, my weather site's portlandweather.com, and you can go to this and you can click on, let's say you click on Seattle, and it will give you the Seattle temperatures. Seattle, 19 and 25, chance of snow showers Saturday. Sunny, 22 and 31 Sunday. Really, really cold stuff up there, obviously, right? Really cold stuff. What about Medford, that far south? See, Medford doesn't, according to this, Medford doesn't get into the Arctic air. Sunday, 49, Martin Luther King Day, Dr. Martin Luther King Day's 52. Wow, that wouldn't be so bad. We know that Central Oregon is going to get into the cold air. Saturday, 18, Sunday, 1, 20 the high. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, 9 and 22. Wow. And again, periods of heavy snow into Friday, potentially. With that said, Mal Hood, I want to show you something. I haven't updated this in the last couple of hours. Last time I updated this, the base at Timberline was up to 84 inches. Mount Hood Meadows base 73, Ski Boat base 38. By the way, the winter storm warning up there was dropped earlier today. The blizzard warning was dropped earlier today. Still snowing, still windy, but not the extreme stuff that they had been seeing. 4 to 6 tomorrow, 8 to 12 Friday. There's the cold air, and these numbers may have to be dropped significantly. It may get down to 0 at pass level, especially Sunday morning as the east winds start to fade away. ODOT's been plowing the heck out of the roads, but look how buried it is. That's government camp, 26 degrees. They had snow on the Coast Range this morning, but you can see the Quartz Creek is 35 degrees. That's on the west slope of the Coast Range. There's Cabbage Hill. That was really bad earlier today. It's 27 degrees on the right side of your screen. Yeah, there you can see it out in Eastern Oregon. That's a mess. And here's your 7-day forecast from Portland. Rain showers tonight. No concerns below 1,500 feet, or certainly not below 1,200 feet for snow. Friday could be 41 in the morning. Remember, we reversed the numbers because temperatures fall. Could be 30 at 4 or 5 in the afternoon with accumulating snow. Not sure if the moisture keeps going and we actually get that moisture feed, then I feel like there would be ice. But if that moisture field that I showed you gets eaten by the cold air, literally, and we start to dry out Saturday, then it probably just is snow showers until it fades away. So that's the great uncertainty. And then Sunday's dry, Dr. Martin Luther King and the cold numbers. So the biggest confidence, what I just told you is we're going to see developing snow during the day Friday. It could be several inches, could be up to 6 inches. And then into Friday night, into Saturday morning, we'll see if moisture keeps going. We could get some ice. If it thins out, maybe it's not that bad after we get the snow on Friday. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. Boy, that was a long video. Thanks for listening. My weather site's portlandweather.com. Hit subscribe if you haven't to my channel. I'll talk to you soon.